All right, welcome in. So tonight we get to talk about one of my favorite products. As you can see, I even have gear that say the name on it. I've used this product for a really long time, and I have to say, if you've never tried this one, this is one you should absolutely put in your arsenal, and I consider it one of the best. I hope you can all see my screen. Gwen, please tell me if you cannot. I do have a PowerPoint for this whole product because I've done presentations on it many times. Again, I would say this is probably one of my favorite products that I use daily, and it is called MOA. So it is stands for Mother of All, and you can see my little hat says hashtag 36, and that means 36 superfoods. Now you can see this is a little packet. And it's not a very big packet. It's 1.7 ounces of liquid inside this little packet right here. You see, I've torn the seal, put it straight to my mouth, and easily gotten 1.7 ounces. I do own a gym, 8 years almost, and I've used the product now since 2015. I'm going to tell you the evolution of it, but I have to say this is probably one of my biggest sellers in the gym because of its multi-benefits. Lots of people on it and lots of boxes that I pull in monthly. I want to lay the groundwork of the product and why I think one, it's so spectacular and so different to the market. So I said I've used it since 2015. And when I first got my hands on it, it was in that bottle on the top right. So it had to be refrigerated. When the seal broke, I had to, pour a cup of it. I was notorious for drinking it out of the bottle. We don't do that. We shouldn't ever do that. But I was notorious for doing that because it was in the refrigerator. It wasn't convenient, right? And it had a shelf life, couple weeks in the refrigerator. And it had 34 superfoods in it at the time. And I thought it was fabulous then. But then this company is always improving things. They're always improving their products. And it turned into a 1.7 pouch that you see on the bottom and that you saw my picture of me sipping. And here's the beauty of the pouch, actually, because people will say, well, how is it preserved? If it's not refrigerated and it's in a pouch and it actually has a longer shelf life, how do they do that without sacrificing the product? Um, how do they do it without heating it up? How do they do it without synthetics? Well, this is how. The company actually developed a process called Natrix, and Natrix is the natural preservative that goes into this little pouch. It is good for you, which is very rare to say when we talk about liquids, liquid supplements. Most liquid supplements on the market are synthetically preserved. And could it be with a sodium benzenate, a sodium nitrate? We don't know. Most of them are just got some sort of artificial preservative. Ours does not. Ours is essential oils and fermentation. Two things that are good for you. It is actually keeping this product fresh and in that little pouch. Um, it does have a proprietary blend that helps with keeping the pathogens and the bacteria and the spoilage away when it's in creating the longer shelf life. And again, this is a patented process called Matrix that this company developed. And I love that because, again, we don't want to put anything harmful inside our product. There is a no compromise philosophy here. And typically, synthetics can have side effects or bad. They're just not good for you, whether it's gut issues, allergies, sensitivities. A lot of people are steering clear of the synthetic preservatives, which is nowhere near this product. And it's convenient. You can take it with you anywhere you go. So let's talk about actually what is inside the little pouch. It is 36 superfoods. You can see all of them that are in the lineup on the picture to the left. And what is a superfood? Because that word kind of gets tossed around a lot, a superfood. It's maybe a little cliche or a fad right now, but a superfood is literally just a functional food. A functional food is a food that carries a high amount of nutrition, maybe more so than another or regular food. So I always like to say the analogy of arugula lettuce versus iceberg lettuce. Arugula has, we know, probably more nutrition, right? Just looking at it. If we just put them next to each other, you're probably going to say, I'm going to pick the arugula over. You can smell it. It smells like it probably has more nutrition and it's brighter, it's more colorful. So that's just one example, but a functional food is a food that carries a high amount of nutrition that may help protect against disease, nutrient deficiencies, and promote your body's growth development or cellular growth and development, which we all need, even if we're grown up. We all still need cellular development, rejuvenation, turnover, all of those things. So it's just a food that goes beyond a regular nutritional value or just a standard value, right? So that's what we're talking about. And there's 36 in the pouch. And some are ones you're used to hearing, like apple. Like everybody knows an apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? I try to eat an apple a day, but how in the world am I going to eat elderberries every day? I'm probably not going to be able to do that. How am I going to eat the acerola cherries every day? It's hard to get your hands on those. What about prunes? I don't really like prunes, but they're good for you. So these are foods that are, and this is a food-based product. So I always like to point that out. This is a food-based product. If you were to take off the seal of that top, put it in a cup, and stir it around a glass cup, you would actually see some food particles. It's not watered down, it's just very emulsified food-based product, which means it's very bioavailable. Food is bioavailable. Your body knows what to do with it. There's a synergistic effect when food is mixed with food, right? Because vitamin C helps with the absorption of iron. Like it's the synergy that food brings versus standalone supplements. So I love the fact that this is a food-based product and it's stuff you're probably going to have a hard time either finding to eat or that you just don't, you probably don't, right? So let's talk about oops, I think I muted myself. Did I? Did I mute myself? Okay, I think I'm back. Let's talk about the mushrooms. So this is my favorite part of the packet because I'm definitely not going to eat these every day. I like mushrooms, but I can't eat a reishi mushroom. It's hard as the table that my computer is sitting on. It actually has to be broken down in some sort of extract or powder form. It's hard to find maitake mushrooms. They're from Japan. So to find a way to eat these is almost impossible. So I love that they are in the pouch, but they all deliver so many different things. If you don't know, mushrooms are fungus. So they eat other things and they absorb what they eat. So you also get the benefits of whatever they could be eating. They have antioxidant effects, so they're neutralizing free radicals. That's good for oxidative stress. They're super anti-inflammatory and they're adaptogens, which means whatever could be the stress levels going on in your body, emotional stress, physical stress, adaptogens kind of start working at that. And then they have immunomodulating properties. So if you have an overactive immune system, it'll kind of say, you need to chill out a little bit. You don't need to be so overactive here, which means mushrooms are really great for autoimmune issues. We don't heal, treat, cure, diagnose anything. This is specific to the ingredients. Okay, now we're specific talking ingredients here. Or if you need a boost or protection, specific ingredients can actually help. So I always say people do your own research, look up each of these mushrooms, and you will find a whole lot of benefits in each one. But we're going to talk about each one separately right now because I have researched a little bit on them, and this is just a surface of just the mushrooms because this is my favorite part of the product, and it's the most expensive part of the product if we want to get right down to it. So, and feel free to take screenshots if you'd like. So lion's mane is one of the first one. This may stimulate cell growth, new brain cells, improve depression, anxiety, supports gut, heart health, reduce blood pressure, regulate blood sugar. I don't know why my computer keeps trying to pop up something odd. There we go. We have the cordyceps. The cordyceps is considered the mushroom of vitality, so increased exercise performance. This is a huge anti-inflammatory mushroom. Huge. Probably the most anti-inflammatory mushroom of the list. Heart health, you're going to notice a lot of repetition on these. It has a lot of anti-aging properties. A lot of mushrooms have anti-cancer properties. This specific mushroom is what makes MOA not vegan. So people will say, is MOA a vegan product? I bet most of you probably thought, oh my gosh, well, let's looked at that list. That's got to be a vegetarian or vegan product, right? Right? It's all plants or fungus. Well, MOA is not vegan because this mushroom feeds on insects. And I said, whatever a mushroom eats, it absorbs and you get, right? So this one actually will feed on some insects, and so it makes this not the vegan product. So for anybody you're talking to about this, if they are vegan, I always like to make sure that that is known because that's a particular bunch, and they want to make sure they're getting a vegan product. The shiitake mushroom, this is a cute little button. It can help with cholesterol, weight loss, brain function, again, reduce inflammation. The agaricus is another button. This one is another physical emotional helper. This one's good for bone health. So women, osteoporosis, we need bone density. This is a good one for that. Circulatory issues, digestive problems. Almost all of these are actually good for gut health, which is why MOA people will say, my stomach feels better. Does this help with stomach issues? Well, there are some things in there that can actually help use the bathroom or help promote digestion, but these mushrooms specifically can help with digestive issues. Reishi, this is probably my favorite one of the six. It's because it literally covers every area. So it's good for anti-aging, it's good for inflammation, it's good for relaxation, it helps sleep, manage stress. This one's called the anti-ager in China. This one is the one that grows on live trees, and it is hard as a rock, so it must be broken down into something else. But it's called like the wizard of the mushrooms. It literally works on everything. So super powerful mushroom right here. And then the Maitake 404 Gold, this one grows on purple corn, and we get this one from Japan. Pound for pound, it's more expensive than gold. And it's neat that this one grows on a specific corn because it's pulling up those phytonutrients off that corn. And again, I said, whatever it eats on, it brings to you. So you're getting some of those good phytonutrients as well. So again, promoting overall cardiovascular health, and again, you're seeing healthy gut flora and immune system boost. So notice the trend here. We have anti-aging, we have inflammation, we have gut health, we have brain health. Mushrooms are powerful tools to add to the arsenal, and it's just amazing that all six of those are put into this packet, especially that bioprin's in there because that's going to help with your body to uptake and absorb those nutrients better. So I'm not going to talk about the packs, but I always like to end on my baby because she likes MOA too, and she's only 10. So if a 10-year-old can drink it, you can absolutely learn to let your palate like this. So I hope this was a helpful Zoom that will be uploaded, and you'll be able to reshare it, even though I had a few little kinks in there. So I hope it was good for everybody, and I will be back next Thursday at 7:30 with a new product. If you ever have one you want to see on the list, just shoot me a message. I hope you all have a great Thursday night.